Australia and Canada are unfortunately becoming very, very undemocratic recently, as I'm sure you're aware. And have you got a message for the Australians that are facing this tyranny at the minute, and of course the vaccine passports that have been going on in Canada as well? Have you got a message for them?
The message for them: wake up, fight this with everything that you've got. This is the most essential fight of your life. We're fighting for freedoms. There's nothing more important than that. This is natural law. This is God's law. And if you don't fight it, it will be too late.
Warning, censorship.
So I'm here with Calvin Robinson, one of my favourite commentators. I'm not just saying that because you're sitting here.
You say that to everyone, don't you?
I do say it to everyone, yeah. How are you? You well?
I'm not bad. How have you been?
Yeah, I've not been too bad, thanks. It's been
a great event, isn't it?
Do you know, it's my first, it's my first time coming here as well. So it's interesting to hear lots of different ideas, have people from left and the right come together and actually speak.
Exactly. That's what's great about this. Also, it's a two-way conversation. It's not just listening to the panelists. You've got the audience interacting live, and I love that.
Brilliant. I wanted to ask you, you were very vocal recently about the Great Reset on GB News. I think that's rattled a few feathers, I believe.
But I'm more worried about this Build Back Better slogan that we just spent the last half hour talking about, because it's part of this Great Reset. You know, all the world leaders are now saying, let's build back better. What does better mean? It's a subjective term, and who nominated them or elected them to make things better by their own terms? We didn't. And what this is using this global pandemic as an excuse to implement what I would call a capitalist communist system. This whole idea that, you know, all of these leaders, they all meet in Davos, they all meet at the World Economic Forum and discuss how to essentially keep themselves elite and make an underclass of the rest of us. And that's what we're seeing come into play in real terms, in real time, and no one's standing up to fight against it.
Where do you stand with that now? Is that a sort of a mainstream view you're going to be pushing towards, or?
Mate, I started this conversation a year ago on trigonometry. That was how I ended it. When they asked the question, what are people not talking about that we should be talking about? I said the Great Reset. It's the words that you're not allowed to say. And now that I have a platform on mainstream media, I'm going to say it all the more, absolutely, because we need to be having this conversation. Whether it's conspiracy theory or conspiracy fact, we should be able to discuss it, and both sides of the argument should be able to put their case forward. Otherwise, it's censorship, and it's when you censor something as vital as what's going on in our society today, you're kind of stifling free speech, and essentially anything could be happening. And at the end of the day, we've been through a pandemic. A lot of things have changed in the way that we live our lives, and when we come out of it, we want to have an open conversation about what normal means. I'm of the stance that I want to return to old normal. Some people want to build back better, but if they want to do that, I want to know what better means.
Yeah. And have you been labelled anti just yet?
They label me all kinds of things, but whenever they label you something, it means they want to shut you down and not have a conversation with you. So they've lost the argument as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. And in terms of the political climate, where do you see things going in terms of vaccine passports and mandatory legislation with the vaccine? Do you think it's going to get worse, better?
It's going to get much worse before it gets better. So look at what's happening in Lithuania, for example. People can't go to the shops, they can't live their normal lives. They're essentially pariahs in society if they haven't taken the vaccine. Over here at the moment, we're heading in that direction slowly, but we still have some freedoms, and we need to fight for those freedoms. Whether you've taken the vaccine or not, you need to fight against vaccine passports, because once we take away those freedoms, we will never get them back. And what are we doing it for? Whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated.
Unfortunately, you're watching this video on YouTube, where the oligarchical maniacs love to censor rebel news content. If you would like to watch the full uncensored version, please click the link in the description or the top comment of this video. Thank you.